I believe that the beer should complement the food, and then the food should return the compliment to the beer. I think when you do it right, there's a magical kind of a thing that goes on that I don't think happens with anything else. We started out tonight with a salad of bitter greens, goat cheese, and pine nut brittle, matched with an Imperial Gonzo porter. Soothing our palates with a terrific IPA as we ate Tom Yum Goong, spicy Thai soup. Then Kaiser Doppelbock ham with its burnt honey glaze and my mom's German potato salad. Now the cheese course. Baltic porter paired with my choux pastry with Taleggio cream.
Okay, this next course, obviously you now know what the secret beer is. It's Duck Rabbit Brewery. It's their Baltic Porter.
I thought this beer was phenomenal. We got real chocolate notes out of it. We had already decided on a cheese course. My initial idea was an eclair because it was kind of like a half dessert, half. But the beer was so big, I wanted something like a big cheese. And settled on a Taleggio, which is an Italian camembert. It's a big stinky cheese. It's something called a gougere, which is like a cream puff made with cheese. Okay, and it's generally made with like a Swiss, like an Emmentaler or a Gruyere. But I made mine with a Taleggio. And then I made a pastry cream and added the Taleggio into it with a little bit of Godiva chocolate liqueur to kick up the chocolate thing, and then I dusted the plate with cocoa powder, you know, which is... So I really hope you enjoy this. The beer is phenomenal. This is really something outside, probably the most outside thing I've done at one of these things. And I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. We're pairing Serial Killer barley wine with beef tenderloin and a savory portobello and onion bread pudding. The next course, because I didn't know what I was going to do, is I hadn't really tasted the Serial Killer yet. Sometimes the beers arrive late in the process. Then when I started to taste the Serial Killer, I started to get like a caramelized onion and mushroom flavor. Well, that's easy enough to pair with beef tenderloin, but I wanted to do something different. So I made a bread pudding. Now, bread pudding is usually sweet. I made a bread pudding with garlic, caramelized onions, and mushrooms, portobellos. It's finished with a maitre d' butter, which is an old school kind of like steakhouse thing that they used to do back in the 80s, where the server would make a huge deal out of preparing your steak and cutting it at the table and basically melting butter with a little Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of hot sauce in it. And that's what I did here. Finishing up big, Troganator Bock with a fruitcake that everyone actually enjoys.
Troganator. A Doppelbock was designed originally as, quote, liquid bread. A lot of people used to drink this beer when they were fasting. You know, they're like, oh, we're going to fast for God. We're not going to eat. We're just going to get wasted for the next couple of days. The beer is a much heavier beer. It's got the proteins left in it and some nutrients for you, B12, all that stuff in it. It's a thicker beer designed to sustain you during times of fasting.
I made fruitcake, and the people that work with me every day on a day in and day out basis will tell you that I am cocky and arrogant, and this is a measure of how much they are correct. I made enough for seconds. And at some point tonight, someone's going to say those words that no one has ever said in English before. Greg, can I have seconds on the fruitcake? So eat the fruitcake! I think that when you do it right and you have a good pairing, as you're eating and the food tastes great, and then you take a sip of the beer and you're like, holy cow, that works. We're spreading the gospel here. We are teaching people about beer and food.